Hello and welcome to another episode of Bestiarum Painting. Today we are finally going to try out oil washes. Are they as good as people say they are? Yes, they are. You don't have to watch the rest of the video. They're that good. Try them. So today we are going to be painting an awesome minotaur model creature from Bestiarum Miniatures. I 3D printed this. It is awesome. These guys are putting out some of the best fantasy miniatures I've ever seen. You can check them out on Patreon. This video isn't sponsored by them or anything. I just honestly saw these and fell in love with them. Check them out. So first thing I did was give this an overall spray of Wraithbone. I'm going to just be putting on basic colors on this. No speed paints, no contrast paints. We're just going to go kind of old school. And we're going to be going to Dwarf Skin by Vallejo, and this is going to go on, yep, all the skin, which is a lot because he's huge. Look at him. God, that's an awesome miniature. And just to remember, when I'm using just regular acrylic paints like this, I am watering them down, obviously, to get a smoother finish. Like every miniature painter in the world will tell you to thin down your paints with just some water. It's pretty easy. And then we'll take Khaki from Vallejo and we will just put this on some of the ropes going across them. And then we will take Earth from Vallejo, just the color Earth. It's such a simple color name. I'm glad that they make it simple, but this is the same company that has Hex Lichen as purple, and then just a color named Earth. Anyway, it goes all over his hair. Then we're going to take some smoky ink from Vallejo. We're pretty much using all Vallejo colors here, and this is just going to go on his belt. Here's a question. He's wearing a belt and he has like straps, and those are obviously made out of leather. He is a bull man. What are they making leather out of? Because I know what they make leather out of here on Earth in the regular world. It's cows and bulls. Just saying. Was he wearing his cousin? Next we will take Tan from Vallejo, and that's going to go on some of the leather straps that he has on him. Then we're going to switch to Gory Red, and that's going to go right in his mouth. Then we're going to switch to Cayman Green from Vallejo, and I'm going to stop saying from Vallejo. They're all from Vallejo, and it's just going to go on his little loincloth. Next, we're going to take some Bone White. That is going to go on the skulls that are on his necklace, his skull decorations, and we're also going to be putting this on the horn. Next, we're going to take some Charred Brown. We're going to put this on the tips of the horns, and we're also going to take some Bone White and blend the two colors together so it's not such a stark transition. Next, we're going to take some Cold Gray, and this is going to go on his hooves, which is a very funny word, hooves. I guess it's funnier if you say it like that. If you just say hoofs, it's not so funny, but if you say hooves or hooves, it's kind of funny. That's all. Next, we're going to Chainmail Silver, and we're going to put this on all the parts that we want silver. So it's going to go on the shield, on the belt. It's going to go on I'm just going to randomly pick parts because I'm also going to use another metal color for variation. And that other metal color is Brassy Brass. And we're just going to do the same thing. Pick out some of the spots and just brass them up. brass them up. And we're going to take some squid pink and we're going to use this on these scars. We're going to take some yellow olive and we are going to use this on his veins. Don't ask me why this is called yellow olive. There's no yellow. It's green. Green olive would have made sense. I don't know. I guess I don't know enough about color. Then we'll take some bloody red and we will dot in his eyeballs. Once that's done, we're going to make our oil wash. And what we used is some black and some burnt sienna, and I used some mineral spirits to mix up the wash. I had to play with it a lot to get the right consistency. It was really thin the first time I did it, and then it was a little too thick. So you kind of have to mess around with it. Put it on, like, tamp it onto a piece of paper towel, and you can actually see it spread out. It works out really well. But just make sure you have the right depth that you want, I guess. The right mix of color. Don't make it too thin unless that's what you want, or too thick unless that's what you want. It took a little figuring it out, but let's continue. So this first application was a little bit too thin, so I added some more paint to the mix, and then it came out like this, much darker and much more what I wanted. I want it really to be dark. So I waited about 10 minutes and then just started removing it with a makeup sponge without putting any more mineral spirits on it. Just slowly dampening it down and gently taking it off. I should also mention that between the acrylic process and the oil wash process, I also sprayed him down with a matte sealer. Then I waited for about 2 hours and then I put some mineral spirits on the makeup sponge and really, like, just very lightly. I didn't saturate the makeup sponge or anything like that. I got it wet and then I took as much of the mineral spirits off as I could, and then I gently went through and cleaned up even more. Once I was happy with the amount of wash that I had removed, I made a very simple basing scheme for this guy, and he is done. And I'm happy to say he turned out really good. Oil washes are a lot of fun, and it was such an easy thing to do. I thought it was going to be a lot more difficult, but it really turned out really great. He's just a dirty old monster, and I love it. So I will be using oil washes again in the future, but I'm really impressed. I'm really happy. It was a ton of fun and just like really a nice painting experience. Have you guys tried out oil washes at all, or has this video made you think maybe you will try it out? I guess, like everyone says online, it's a little intimidating, but once you do it, it's not at all. It stunk really bad because I didn't get odorless ones. Nope. No, I didn't. Either way, I'm really happy with how this guy turned out. I'm really, really glad, and these miniatures are great. I know I said it before, but they're awesome. Don't know where Minotaurs get their leather from, though. And that's a bit of a problem. That's a bit of a problem. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and we will see you in the next one. And remember, we're not winning any awards. See you later. White to blend those two colors together so it isn't such a harsh transition. God. Between the painting process and the oil wash process, I did spray them down with a matte spray. There's one. And if you're paying attention, you may notice that this is a Marvel Crisis Protocol base that I shaved down. They give you a ton of extra bases, and they are great because you can file them right down and use them for a ton of extra stuff. Thanks, Atomic Mass Games.